Good day to whoever comes across this video. My name is Tyler Laudat. I am 30 years old and I live in London. The reason for this video today is because I want to express my disappointment with the modeling industry when it comes to disabled people. I don't think that there's enough representation in the modeling world for disabled people. I think if you want to be a model, you have to have the perfect body, you have to have the perfect skin, you have to have the perfect hair, the perfect vision, everything just has to be perfect. I was born with scoliosis, so this is a condition where your spine twists and curves to one side. If you do not have surgery for it, the curvature can get worse over time. So I had the surgery in 2005 and I was 11 years old, and from a young age, a lot of people, kind of implemented that being disabled is not cool, and it's like your options are very, very, low. Like you can't just do any and anything. You have to do like a certain job because of your disability. So maybe just sitting in an office working, or as long, or you can't do manual labor, which is understandable for certain people that actually does have that issue. And because I think everybody's condition is different. Mine is where I get a lot of aches and pains. I have good days and I have bad days, but I don't really want somebody to reject me because of my setback. If you have to reject me because of, I don't know, I'm guessing I have the wrong personality, or you don't feel like this is something I can do, or I'm not confident enough. Don't just look at me because of my disability and say you can't do it. And that is what I've been hearing all of my life. I want to get into that industry so that I can inspire other disabled people like myself, that we can do anything and we can break down doors. It might take us longer, but we have to start somewhere. Even when I was going to school, there was kids that used to say, "Oh, like you'll amount to nothing," when I started school, because I started school, secondary school, I think, yeah, about 3, 4 months after I had the surgery. So I went to school with a body brace, and everybody looked at me as though I came from outside space, which it was heartbreaking. I got labeled as body brace kid. There wasn't a lot of people that wanted to be my friend. So I kind of pulled myself away from that crowd. So it's like I used to sit by myself, and I used to go to a place in my school. It's called Resources. So Resources is an area for disabled kids. So I just used to stay there on my break, my lunch break, and just mingle with the disabled kids, because a lot of the regular kids didn't really want to mingle with me, and they saw me as somebody that was stupid, because I don't understand why a lot of people consider, like, when you're disabled, your brain doesn't work as a normal person, and this is an issue that still a lot of us are fighting today. And yeah, and remember, that was like, what, about maybe going on 20 years ago, and that's still an issue today, which is really, really sad. So I went through my 5 years of secondary school, afraid, not happy, not really blending in with others. I consider myself to be a people's person, a very friendly person, but yeah, people still just didn't want to know, and boy, can people judge. And if you don't have a strong backbone, then you can get really depressed about it. And I was depressed going to school for 5 years, because every day there was a story or something to laugh about me was coming out. oh, he's dumb, he wouldn't amount to anything, let's take the piss out of him, why does he walk like that? And kids, they used to try and befriend me and say, oh, like, what's your phone number? Like, let's hang out after school and, go to the park or something like that. And I remember I said no because I had a feeling, just a feeling in my gut that they they wasn't being genuine. They just wanted to have somebody to laugh about. So I kind of pulled myself away, and even after I left secondary school, I lacked confidence because of that, because of what was said and because, how people were dealing with me. It took me a while to be comfortable with my disability, because even like take away like school, like put school out of it. Like even when I was going out to like maybe a family function with my mom, I would cover up. I would put like long sleeve shirts, and I would wear like maybe a very high collar jumper so that my scar behind my neck wouldn't show, because I was very conscious about it because people were talking about it, and I was constantly reminded, oh yeah, you have a disability, and it was just annoying at one point in my life. So I literally had to stop and say to myself, listen, you've got a disability, embrace it. And it took me a while to get to that stage. It really did. Even now, I have problems with it. I'm not gonna lie, I've got to be honest. And maybe a few years after secondary school, maybe even after college, actually. Sorry, my memory's not that great. A lot of people, like friends, family, friends, said, "Oh, you know what? You've always been like a photogenic person. Since you were a kid, you've taken lovely photos. You look directly into the camera. Did you ever consider doing modeling?" So I said no. And when a few people came back and tell me this, I said, maybe this is something I could get into, as well, to make a difference and to show that disabled people can be models. So I would say from about 2013 or 2014, applied to different agencies around London, got some good feedback, some bad feedback, and some agencies just wanted to use me for money. I remember one person said to me in an agency, if you want to be successful in the modeling agency, you've got to put the money out. If you don't put the money out, you're not going to get anywhere. And I believe that. I believe that. And I was literally willing to put the money out. And, my mom stopped me and my mom said, no, don't do that. If they want you, they wouldn't be asking for money. So these people, this agency is not legit. So I trusted her then. I just said, let me just keep on applying myself because something would come up eventually, and things like that. And plus, you really do have to put yourself out there. So I went to a few agencies in central London. I went to Select Models. Yeah, Select Models. So that's near Oxford Circus. So me and my good friend Sadiq, we went there in 2018, February 2018. And we went there maybe around lunchtime. So somebody came out and the guy said, "Oh, sorry, but we're going on lunch, but can you come back in about the next hour or two?" I think it was 2 hours. So we said, "Oh, we'll stay in Office Circus. We'll do a bit of window shopping, go for something to eat, and then we'll go back at 2 o'clock." Then when we went back at 2 o'clock, somebody came downstairs and said, "Oh, you're too early. Come back in the next 15 minutes." So when we came back in, like, sorry, 15 minutes later, they two people came out, they looked at us and they just sent us away. They never brought us to a room, they never interviewed us, they just looked at us and just said, yeah, like, we don't think you have the potential, try somewhere else. And there's a lot of agencies like that, that actually says that. You know, if I didn't go to a walk-in, I emailed them, and some will reply, some wouldn't reply, and that's just how life is, you know. Another main reason why I'm making this video is, don't see rejection as a bad thing. See as God is protecting you from that agency. This week, I think, was it Monday, I applied to an agency based in East London. And, I was just so ambitious about it. I said, yeah, I want to make a change. So I emailed them about maybe 8 o'clock in the morning. That's how ambitious I was about, that agency, and like, if I can get in, what would change my life, and other things. So this guy, he emailed me back, and it wasn't very pleasant. I wasn't really happy about it, because when I sent the email, I sent a couple photos, and I sent a bio, just a little bio about myself. And I just said, I've been trying to get into the modeling industry for a while, because it's something I want to do. I want to change the face for disabled people, and I want to work with a lot of great people, that can, uplift me. That's what I said in the email. And he replied saying, oh, it's not about your personal struggles, or the industry doesn't care about your personal struggles. And yeah, he literally just ripped me off like that. But now, in this day and age, people actually want to hear true stories. They don't want to hear lies and things like that. And I feel like when a lot of people are signed to agencies, the agencies kind of tell them, you can't say this, you can't say that, because if you say that, then you won't look good, and people won't take you seriously. But I want to be taken seriously for my truth. I want to inform others that it is hard, but you shouldn't give up. You need to fight, and fight until you get your place in the sun. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm literally going to fight, because, another reason, I don't really see male models, and even male models, even colored male models with scoliosis. You don't really see that. When I One day I went on Google, and I put in models with scoliosis, only one came up, and this was nobody in the United Kingdom. This was a well-known model in America. Her name is Helen Hunt. And I said to myself, wow, like, only one mainstream model that has scoliosis, and it's a woman, which is a good thing as well, because I'm all for women's rights. But it's like, nobody else. Nobody else, not anybody of color, which is absolutely horrible. It's terrible. It's, yeah, it's absolutely, it's disgusting, and it needs to change. I've been told by certain agencies, you will never work for big brands like Adidas, Nike, Tommy Hilfiger, Boohooman, Asos, and so on. Yeah, and that was heartbreaking to hear. But still, I'm not going to give up, and I'm going to fight. I just feel like I owe it to my younger self to fight for what I want, because growing up, there was a lot of setbacks, and there was a lot of people that didn't know how to deal with me, because they didn't know how to deal with my disability. Something as basic as going to the barber shop, I've had barbers yell at me and say, oh, put your neck straight, because when you're lining up your hairline, your head has to be in a certain position for them to get it right. But then remember, you have to be kind of delicate with people with scoliosis, because they put their neck in a position where they feel comfortable, you know? And even when I want to get my hair braided, I've got like a lovely friend of mine that does my hair for me, she is delicate with me because she knows about my spinal issues, and I think that's a beautiful thing when you consider somebody's condition, and that's what it is. It's absolutely horrible. It's terrible how the world is, and how the world sorry how the world still is, and I feel like it should be better at this point in time. We shouldn't look at somebody that's disabled and say that they can't do something creative, they can't do something to change the world. I have a friend that I was talking to 2 days ago, and he said, I love the fact that you're sharing your story. He's somebody that's into 3D animation, and I think one time he went to like a job center or whatever, and a guy told him in the job center, you will never get into 3D animation because number one, you're in a wheelchair, number two, you're black, and then number three, you're not in America. It's like, why would you say that to bring somebody down? You're meant to be uplifting people. I know certain people are going to look at this video and say, yeah, like we don't care and think that it's just another disabled person and blah, blah, blah. But there will be people that will look at this and say, yeah, he's trying to make a difference and he's going the right way about it. Those are the people I'm aiming for, and I want these big brands to know that they should be doing more to cater for disabled people, because, and I wouldn't even, and I don't want to blame these brands, these brands. I want to more blame the modeling agencies, because they're the ones that tell you that you can't do it and you have to be like this and that and then you have to look a certain way. And to me, I feel if you go to these brands directly, they kind of take time to listen to your story and understand your story. But there's the agencies that kind of block you from getting to where you want to be. And that's why I'm making this video to make people aware that there's a lot of these agencies that put you down. They put and these are like well-known agencies. I feel like the modeling world needs to be reformed. I feel like these agencies need to learn how to talk to people, especially disabled people, and it's not even about being rejected, but it's about what was said, because there's many ways that this guy could have replied to my email, because he was kind of indicating that I would never make it in the modeling industry, like just give up and thing like that. And like I said, people want to hear a true story. It's not, we don't live in a time of where our true story is hidden behind closed doors. People want to know the truth. And people, a lot of people relate to truth nowadays. But I guess not everybody, because these agencies, yeah, they only tell you just say what makes you look good. You can't always say what makes you look good. You have to say the truth. To me, the truth is what makes you look good. I really hope this video makes a difference to a lot of disabled people and even to a lot of people that is just trying to get into modeling. I know it's hard. I know people might say to themselves, oh my God, if I was maybe a little bit bigger in weight or if I was skinnier and thin like that. The problem isn't you. The problem is the modeling industry and it needs to be changed. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.